Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, my friends. This moment's been long awaited, long anticipated, and it is indeed finally here. Indeed, Slayer is now joining Guilty Gear Strive. Retaining much of his classic look, although there's definitely some new traits gameplay-wise. If you were a fan of the character, I gotta assume you're gonna be very happy with just everything you're gonna see in this trailer. Slayer is our final character of Season 3 of Guilty Gear Strive. It is noted that there will not be a balance patch with Slayer, although next up is Season 4, and Season 4 will definitely come with a balance patch. Also Season 4 coming with the long-awaited 3 vs 3 mode. I actually kind of forgot about it. It was announced so long ago that, just kind of slipped my mind, but hey, it's definitely coming now with Season 4. Plus a slew of new DLC characters, which we'll learn in time. But for now, Slayer is the main event, and he comes out next month, May the 30th. And on top of him launching, he does come with an all-new stage as well. So, Season 3 definitely going out with a bang. Season 4, I think it's a safe bet, will be announced sometime at Evo Prime, Evo Las Vegas. Or hey, maybe if we're lucky, we'll even get it beforehand, who knows. But the Guilty Gear Strive train stops for nobody. So now with all that info out of the way, let's talk the actual Slayer trailer, because there's a lot of cool things going on here. So now let's talk Slayer. So like Johnny, not messing with the formula too much as far as the visuals go, Slayer is still a very identifiably Slayer. Not quite going over the massive wardrobe change like say Elfelt did. And for Slayer fans, I'm sure you wouldn't have it any other way. You want the classy vampire man. Looking a bit more haggard, definitely older in the face, although that also plays into one of his supers later in the video, so that kind of works out. And for the kind of character he is, honestly, just looking a bit older just makes him more distinguished, honestly. Now, we got this nonsense to open up the trailer right out of the gate. We're just going crazy. So, classic Slayer, lazy blocking, showing that he's a lot better than you. And now the nonsense begins immediately. So the classic dandy step where he'll swing and then swing back and hit you with a move? No, we're just going forward this time. Now, to be fair, this is actually something he could do way back in the day. In Accent Core, he could do this as a force break, aka an EX move where you spend a little bit of meter. But now I guess he can just do it as is. And don't worry, we'll see it later in the trailer, but regular dandy step is still very much a thing. Looks like he's going low, lands a counter hit, and then, well, I guess we get some juggle potential following this. So close slash, jump cancel the close slash into jump kick, dash cancel that into, I'm assuming, jump slash. He's very known for like flailing while jumping over the years. And we get a cool little combo. Now for the classic swing back, dandy step, here it is in all of its glory. Dandy step into pile bunker. This is the pile bunker here, just kind of the big F off punch. Is perhaps his most iconic move, and they're definitely doing it justice here. Like just instant wall splat, don't even pretend, we're not messing around here. This is the move. Then we get another look here at the forward dandy step into this just massive leaping like claw punch attack here. Reads like an overhead, hard to tell when it's on the corner, but reads like an overhead. Perhaps the forward and backward dandy steps have different moves. Who knows? And hey, Slayer's still very much a wife guy. Sharon getting a lot of playtime in this trailer. In fact, the new stage is probably their stage, as going by the new story bit we have, they're a big fan of just going out and people watching. So now, next up here, we open with just a big old counter hit. So this is Slayer's classic down heavy slash stomp. And as a counter hit, hey, well, there you go, right? It works. Then the forward dandy step again, although this time we're not actually doing any moves out of it. We're just doing it for pure movement purposes. Then close slash, stand slash, heavy slash into the big mock punch. Stuff like this, pile bunker. Slayer very famous for like the big singular punch. And when we get to the supers, you're really going to see that. Now, next up is a really cool thing. So we see close slash, crouch slash. But the crouch slash, you can see like his hand getting like very gigantic, right? So body deformation, like growing his limbs and all that, is something he can do. It's not something that happens that often, but when it's there, and I'm glad they brought that trait back. Hey, speaking of bringing traits back, so his command grab returns. This is the blood-sucking universe. You may recognize this also as a move Nagoriyuki has. It's just the traditional vampire bite command grab, I guess. So this returns, and notice the brief aura around him, you know, kind of like blood around him, right? This matters in a big way. So just like the Exard version of the character, after he gets his bite, he has a brief buff. And in this point here, the buff turns the next hit into a counter hit. Notice it doesn't say counter, it says universe, as in blood-sucking universe. So even if you don't earn it, the next hit's basically a guaranteed mega counter hit. You can see here Axel is crouching, this I'm assuming is an overhead, and then it's going to get the big counter hit effect, and the launch you'll get a full combo. So after you get command grabbed by Slayer, you need to watch out. Traditionally, Blood-Sucking Universe, the grab doesn't do much damage in and of itself. It's no spinning pile driver, right? But the situation it can create after the fact is going to be a very, very big deal. Now, this is another vampire fighting game trait, I guess you can say. So his classic dash lets him be intangible for a very brief amount of time. And this appears to be a new move with that property where he can kind of just dissipate into a cloud of bats and strike back. I don't recall this being a returning move. I think this is all new. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. But yeah, just a cool little sequence of, I know what's coming next, so I'm just going to kind of blow right through it. And then, well, counter hit leads to a combo situation, stand light kick into Mach Punch, and then we just go from there. And hey, Slayer meeting Nagoriyuki. There's got to be some little cool story bits, some cool lore happening there, I'm sure. And now back to our nonsense. So Slayer has like the big punch super. He's always had it. Is a staple of the character, but now the big punch is so big that he explodes out of his own clothes to do it. Like his literal clothing can't withstand the power he's putting out. You know, canonically, he's usually about the strongest character in the series as far as like story lore power goes. And I guess this is a good way to show that in game. Now, the question is, do they have the cojones to pull a Grand Blue Fantasy Versus on this? In Grand Blue, when Soras bursts out of his clothes, that's how he stays for the rest of the match. Unfortunately, I don't think Guilty Gear is going to go exactly the same route, however. That all said, though, visually, certainly a very impressive super. And now going from one super to the other, this is definitely very interesting. Another classic vampire super as well. So, Slayer is going to take a big old bite out of you, and in so, he restores his youth. We're now seeing young Slayer. No more wrinkles, no more mustache, and then, I guess as young, potentially full power version of Slayer, he's going to give you one heck of a wallop. Now, of course, this raises questions. Does he remain young for the rest of the match? Is this like an install or something like that? I don't know. It certainly is a great visual, however, the whole sequence. This is, you know, peak vampirism, I suppose. Now, I say this is another vampire style move because this is absolutely reverse Midnight Bliss, Dimitri from Darkstalkers. Like, same deal, kind of lazily goes forward to you, although in Dimitri's case, he turns the character, whatever gender they may be, into a girl, and then, you know, drains them dry. So in reverse here, Slayer's draining you dry, and then he himself gets younger. Although I'll just say no matter what it is, it's certainly inspired, it looks good, looks great. Although young Slayer sort of looks like Belial from Grand Blue. And that's the trailer. So far, Slayer, I think, looks really good, looks really faithful to the character, although with some new additions as you would want in a new game. Forward and backwards dandy steps. Good evolution of the character, I suppose. I do like that blood-sucking universe. If you get the counter hit after the fact, it just says universe instead of counter, showing that it's indeed because of the dedicated new mechanic. So there's no confusion when it's happening. No pulling a dark side fill. I blocked that when it says universe across the screen. The moves look good, the graphics look good, the style looks good, everything looks cool. Slayer is one of the coolest characters in fighting game history. And in my opinion anyways, going by the trailer, I feel like they have done him justice. Now comes Season 4, new DLC characters. Maybe Justice will be a character. Will they do Justice? I guess we'll have to wait and find out. But that is the trailer, another piece of news and media from Evo Japan, and we've already covered a lot about Evo Japan, so check the video. There's a lot of videos already made, and probably at least one or more to come. So stay tuned for all of that. And other than that, this is the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Guilty Gear.